We are 2 weeks from the Olympic opening ceremony in Paris, France. It's the beginning of something anyone involved with has worked their whole lives to achieve. Included in that group is Suzanne Bush, a former Louisville field hockey star. The Ballard High School alumna's journey started as soon as she touched a field.
When I step onto this turf, I feel like I'm at home.
If it is where the heart is, then for Suzanne Bush, home is Traeger Stadium.
This is the place that, started my love of sports.
She did not look far, but had to look hard to find it.
It wasn't as big and popular when I was growing up as it is today. I went to one of the few schools that offered it in middle school.
The eventual Ballard grad rapidly rose to surface as a field hockey star.
I love the pace of field hockey. It is fast-paced the entire time. I'm a sprinter by nature.
Even while there was a field difference between Bruin and Cardinal Green?
Moving from a grass field to a beautiful flat turf field, the pace of the game is so much different.
But that did not slow her down from growing into an all-conference Cardinal. Also known as Suzanne Irwin, she made her voice heard from 2001 to 2004.
I was a competitor. I was very intense. I like to think that as a leader on the field, I was a lead by example kind of person.
And one, like many, trying to figure out a plan off of it.
All your life, starting when you're very little, you train for something. And then it's like, well, what now?
The answer she found,
it was not my goal by any means.
Was not by design.
I wanted to be an interior designer.
Instead, her path took her to a booth. Producer Debbie Harbsmeyer called and asked if she wanted to work with veteran play-by-play voice Sean Moth.
I would absolutely feel honored.
There were so many that could have been highlighted, but we're going to start here.
I'm sure they were, like, I don't know if we got the right person here. I'm sure I looked like a deer in spotlights.
She credits their patience for pushing her growth as a commentator before pausing it to have 2 children. Meanwhile, the birth of more conference and network broadcasts brought another call.
I was all on board. I was like, sign me up. I'm ready to get back into it.
We got a great one this evening.
Her work across ESPN brought her 2-time Olympian of a friend.
She is the quiet engine that runs this Cardinals defense.
To ask her about another potential call.
He said, well, are you going to call the Olympics? And I was like, rolling my eyes like, no way they want me. They don't even know who I am.
They did. And she was in the mix to help call field hockey on the international stage.
Then I didn't hear anything for a few weeks. I was like, oh, I didn't get it. And then I got an email. I was like, hey, we'd love to have you part of the team. And so I was like, oh my gosh.
That was the Cards' 4th goal off a corner.
So that's how you'll hear a Louisville voice broadcasting the best in the world. And she wants you to know where it comes from.
My love of the sport. My passion for the sport, sharing these athletes' journeys. They're very particular about this. Until they step on the turf, you cannot call them an Olympian.
Suzanne Bush can now say the same.
I mean, that might bring tears to my eyes, Tyler. It's, there's no way I could have ever envisioned that I would get this opportunity. Like, beyond my wildest dreams.
Now Bush will not physically be in Paris. She will be calling the games from a remote location in Connecticut. She says she's used to that, though, from different broadcasts she has done for ESPN and the ACC Network. But for now, I'm Tyler Griever for WDRB Sports.